What is your name and what is the type of business that you have?
Sure. My name is Dixon. I own Rattled, Concierge.
What was your situation like before working with me?
So when I first started working with Marissa, I felt pretty overwhelmed. I had been in my business. My business had been up and running for about 2 years, and I had employees, and everything happened really quickly. And I wasn't able to really build systems and procedures and things like that. So when she stepped in and said that she might be able to help me with those things, it felt like a weight lifted off me.
Awesome. So what were you unable to do that you wish you could do maybe before working together? And how did that make you feel?
So she listened non-judgmentally. And that's huge for someone who is a small business owner because you're putting out your most vulnerable, deep, dark down secrets of your business, right? The fact that you don't have time to keep a budget together, the fact that you, are staying up till 2 a.m. and not getting any sleep. And it's like that is hard to say out loud to someone else because you want to come off as being the successful person who has it all together. And even though your business might be small, it's doing great. And the fact is that most businesses probably aren't, right? So it was great to have somebody like Marissa who really just listens. It's really hard to say to somebody like, yeah, I don't know what net profit is. I don't know what percentage I should be making. I don't know what I should be paying my employees. Because a different type of person would be like, look at you and say, what do you mean you don't know this? Or you didn't look that up or you didn't Google it? And it's like, yeah, I literally don't have time to. Or I didn't know what I didn't know. So much of this is you don't know what you don't know, so you don't even know what to ask, right? So working with Marissa has been so good because she really has been, with me through this process, again, in a way that is you're side by side with her instead of her being in front of you and judging. It truly is like walking through the process together, looking at numbers, looking at, employees and who can help you here and there. And that's been the most helpful is really somebody looking at it from a bird's eye view, but in a way that is not judgmental. Yeah.
Love it. Is that one of your doubts or fears or hesitations that you had before going through the process?
Totally. So I would say, to be honest, in our introductory call, I felt comfortable right away, but I can see how somebody else would say, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I'm successful enough. I don't know. But the great thing about this has been she meets you where you're at. And even if where you're at is, you feel like you're failing or you're doing great, but you don't know how you got there, like you can't even quite explain it, like, or try to replicate it. Like that has been super helpful. And especially once we started writing down the numbers and 20% this, 80% you're spending this much, and started showing me the numbers, which I'm not a numbers person. I'm a people person, and that's why these numbers were so important. And she started just explaining it to me in a way where it didn't make me feel like an idiot. That was huge, Somebody else might come in and say, well, you're making this percentage. Why didn't you know this? Or why didn't you do this? And it's just like, I feel like I'm being attacked, like I'm just trying to run a business day to day. But having somebody look at you and say, like, that's okay. Like, it's fine. We'll just fix it. Like, we'll do it this way. We'll do it that way. Like, oh, you don't want to do this, you don't want to spend money on this? We'll spend money on this. That is 1,000% worth it. 1,000%.
Love it. So where are you at now that you went through, our services, my services, and how does that make you feel?
So looking back on the past couple weeks, I think I've grown so much as a business owner because it's been so much reflection. It's been a time of reflection and making little changes that are going to better the business in like exponential ways. So when I think about how I felt a couple weeks ago starting this and how I feel now, it's that he really has taught me ways to delegate these tasks that were taking up so much of my time and energy and money, and delegate them so that I'm actually more profitable as a business. And it may not seem like that in the beginning. You're like, how could this possibly, like, how can I let go, but actually, let go of control, but actually still be successful, but it is possible, right? And when you really think about businesses that have been successful, that's what they do, right? Is that you look at the data, you look at the numbers, and you look at the people that you have and the resources that you have available. And sometimes it takes that person, like Marissa, the outside looking in, to really help you delegate to those people, or help you do your numbers differently, or help you spend differently. So yeah, it's I have a ways to go, but at least I have a plan moving forward. And even just having those things written down and having a plan is worth it. Yeah,
Love it. What positive impact has this had on you and your business?
I know that one of the impacts it's had is that my employees have they have a clear expectation as far as what the goals that they have, the tasks that and that makes anybody feel great, right? Like knowing what you have to do and then completing those tasks is all really any employee wants. So that's been wonderful for my employees, and then in turn, it's great for me and great for the business. So yeah.
Anything else you would like to add or tell someone that is watching this that may be a little hesitant to take the next step?
Sure. This has been wonderful for my business because it got me outside of the box, outside of my own box thinking, right? My own way of doing things. And it's so true that like having the input from another mentor or business coach can be so helpful because they just think of things that you would never think of, right? Really worth it. It's different than talking to a spouse, talking to an employee. I've told her things that I would never tell other people, and it feels great to have that off my chest. And not only to have that off my chest, but that she has solutions for it. She has ways for us to work through it and find solutions together. And that's been wonderful. Yeah.